guess it's a natural evolution. But no, your mind was prepared because these guys are the shepherds, you know. They have another bunch of slaves and scientists that work for them who do this mind control business, and they farm us to an extent. They first of all, they know what they want to grow in this field, the particular crop they want to grow, and how high, and how many. And they first prepare the land, you know. They cut the brush, they plow it, they harrow it, they do all the necessary groundwork, and then they sow the seed and watch it grow, you see, and cultivate it. Well, that's what they do with your mind in preparation for every event that will happen in your life, every major event in your life. You've seen it all through movies, especially in this day and age, and in the last century it was primarily, well, in the 20th century, it was primarily novels and stage plays and music halls, etc. But today it's in everybody's TV, the one-eyed set, the Lie of Lucifer, or Ra, you know, the Tell Levi Zion. And they program it right into you through entertainment, and then you see it happening in real life, and you think, well, I guess that's okay, it's sort of natural, isn't it? And you don't think any more beyond that. Where did that idea come from in the first place? It's marketed to you through entertainment. And that's the prime reason for entertainment, is not for you to sit and have music while you chew the grass like good little sheep. It's to program you.
This technique of predictive programming is being used to condition us to accept the idea that microchip implants are inevitable, even desirable, and it has been going on for decades. The chances are that some of you will have been blissfully unaware of this technique until now, as I was until I happened to stumble upon somebody who knew about it and wanted to pass it on. Hopefully this pass it on process will also involve some of the family and friends or associates of the people who are watching this film, and so on.
Well, you know how these things start. One guy tells another guy something, and then he tells two friends, and they tell two friends, and they tell their friends, and so on, and so on, and so on. You know how these things go.
There are many examples of predictive programming for the microchip implant agenda. Some are more subtle than others. If you watch movies at all, it is likely that you have been exposed to some predictive programming yourself. Here are a few examples. The opening scene of Logan's Run shows a newborn baby with a crystal implant in the palm of his hand. What was it that the managing director of the Baja Beach Club in Rotterdam said?
I think that within 20 years when you get born you will get a chip.
Later in the movie, the implant begins to flash when somebody reaches the age of 30. This is their time for renewal.
Clear, Francis.
Incidentally, a remake of this movie is currently scheduled for release in 2012. In Fortress, each prisoner has an intestinator implanted, a device designed to inflict severe pain or death for any violation of the prison rules.
Prepare intestinator tagging.
You are about to be outfitted with intestinators. Mentel Corporation's automatic behavior control device. Observe all rules. Be especially observant of the yellow and red line. Crossing a yellow line will result in pain. Crossing a red line will result in death. Crime does not pay.
I have an illness. Now, it's called claustrophobia. It's a real illness. Come on. Don't do this!
Remain in line. Do not cross the yellow line.
Nobody listens! I have a note from my doctor.
Yellow is
Look, I
pain.
can't stay here! Will you listen? Will you please listen to me?
Your intestinator is now in pain mode.
Turn it off! Come on, you can turn it off!
Do not cross the red line. Red is death.
An article from May 2009 carrying the headline, "Saudi Killer Chip Implant Would Track Eliminate Undesirables," suggests that the intestinator has arrived. And Demolition Man, San Angeles, 2032, is a highly ordered society in which everything that has been categorized as bad for you salt, smoking cigarettes, etc., has become illegal.
You got the salt over there, Bob?
Salt is not good for you, hence it is illegal.
Sir John Spartan.
Every citizen has a microchip implant, including a freshly thawed John Spartan, played by Sylvester Stallone, who has been frozen and reprogrammed in a cryogenic prison.
Waiting for command. Voice check, Lenina Huxley.
Unfortunately, Simon Phoenix was not coded. While you were sleeping, everyone in the city was installed code. It was a brilliant idea by Dr. Cocteau that an organically bioengineered microchip be sewn into the skin. Sensors all over the city can zero in on anyone at any time.
I can't even conceive a visual of what you police officers did before it was developed.
We work for a living. This fascist crap makes me want to puke.
What do you think you're scratching, caveman? You really think we'd let you go without control? Your code was implanted the second you thawed.
Why didn't you just shove a leash up my ass?
John Spartan, you are
Really?
for a violation.
No matter how Viking you are.
There are various references to Huxley's Brave New World in this movie, which was published 100 years before the year in which the movie is set.
That's a brave new world. Where you gotta go?
In The Phantom Menace, the first Star Wars prequel, a young Anakin Skywalker mentions the fact that every slave has a transmitter implanted in them, which explodes if he or she tries to escape.
All slaves have a transmitter placed inside their body somewhere.
I've been working on a scanner to try and locate mine.
Any attempt to escape.
And they blow you up. Boom!
Ha, word.
I can't believe there's still slavery in the galaxy. The Republic's anti-slavery laws are...
The Republic doesn't exist out here. We must survive on our own.
Given that Star Wars is one of the most popular movies ever made, and that The Phantom Menace was released 16 years after the third installment, Return of the Jedi, this may well have been the most eagerly anticipated movie in the history of cinema. The words of a young Darth Vader must have seeped into the subconscious minds of millions upon millions of persons. In The Matrix, Agent Smith releases a bug that wriggles its way into Neo's body. Trinity removes the bug just before the infamous red pill, blue pill scene, which references both Alice in Wonderland and The Wizard of Oz.
Relax. Come on. Come on. It's on the move. You're gonna lose it. No, I'm not. Clear.
That thing's real!
The concept of living inside a computer-generated simulation could also be an example of predictive programming, which is not unique to The Matrix. An interesting side note is the fact that the name Neo, combined with Anderson, translates as the new son of man.
This can't be.
Be what? Be real?
Let's go. Now.
The first line of Kevin Haggerty's Toronto Star article from December 2006 reads, "By the time my 4-year-old son is swathed in the soft flesh of old age, he will likely find it unremarkable that he and almost everyone he knows will be permanently implanted with a microchip." So the technique of predictive programming is certainly not confined to the TV movie industry. In the BBC drama The Last Enemy,
Smaller than a grain of rice.
the British Home Secretary reveals her own microchip implant and announces that
It's an ID that can't be lost or forged or stolen. Its content and function can be adapted to suit my needs. It can be my credit card, it can be my door key, my car keys. I'll never lose them again. Eventually, it'll become universal. Starting at school age, a tag for life. It'll be easy to update. You won't have to keep renewing it.
Another notable soundbite is the assertion that the microchip implant
It'll give back to the honest, ordinary citizen freedom of movement.
i.e., this particular freedom had previously been taken away. In Total Recall, The Governator's mind-manipulated character is told that his skull is bugged with a tracking device.
If you want to live, don't hang up.
What do you want?
They've got you bugged. They'll be busting down your door in about 3 minutes unless you do exactly what I say. Don't bother searching. The bug's in your skull.
Who are you?
Never mind. Wet a towel and wrap it around your head. That'll muffle the signal.
How'd you find me?
I'd advise you to hurry. This'll buy you some time. They won't be able to pinpoint you.
Shit!
What?
I lost him.
Well, find him!
Yeah, right.
Come on, hurry up. You look beautiful.
He is also given an implement to shove up his nose and remove the tracking device.
I got a weak signal over there.
Split up. Find him. First, let's get rid of that bug in your head. Take this thing out of the case and stick it up your nose. Don't worry, it's self-guiding. Just shove real hard. When you hear the crunch, you're there. Just pull it out. Be careful. It's my head too.
Futurama is an animated series created by Matt Groening, the creator of the worldwide smash hit animated TV series, The Simpsons. The name Futurama suggests that this series may even have been created with predictive programming specifically in mind. In the first episode, Fry is frozen in time and ends up in the year 2999. When he wakes up, he is expected to have a career chip implanted into his hand. The slogan, "You gotta do what you gotta do," is used to justify this totalitarian measure. And what horrors could this mindless slogan not be used to justify? As in the Nuremberg defense, I was just doing my job.
Tough. Lots of people don't like their jobs, but we do them anyway. You gotta do what you gotta do. Now hold out your hand. I'm going to implant your career chip. It'll permanently label you as a delivery boy.
Keep that thing away from me.
Hold still, damn it! I don't have good depth perception. You've got to the count of 5 to let me out of here. 1.
See you in 1,000 years. You owe me one.
There have been numerous other examples of conditioning the public to accept the idea of microchip implants, and we can expect many more as the propaganda machine goes into overdrive in the very near future. Here are a few examples for which a future setting was not deemed necessary. In the animated comedy South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, Eric Cartman has a V-chip implanted in his head as a behavior modification device. How do they come up with these names? The chip gives him a painful electric shock whenever he swears. The V-chip, thanks to some sort of South Parkian malfunction, ultimately enables Cartman to save the world from Saddam Hussein and Satan.
Wait a minute, this chip somehow knows if the child is swearing?
It's just like a lie detector. You see, certain things happen to you when you swear, just like when you lie. The chip picks up on this and gives the subject a little prick. Patient B5, would you step out here, please? Patient B5 here has been fitted with the new V-chip.
Oh, my head hurts.
Don't worry about that. Now, I want you to say, doggy.
Doggy.
Notice that nothing happens. Now say Montana.
Montana.
Good. Now pillow.
Pillow.
All right. Now I want you to say horse.
Go ahead, Eric. It's all right. Horse fuck. That hurt, goddammit! Ow! Fuck!
Now I'd like you to say big floppy donkey.
No!
Success! The child doesn't want to swear.
This isn't fair. Your son's a begging you.
We will start putting these chips in all our children next week.